never fear, BEG is here. Friday Live, baby. We are working through, we're working through a lot, Kevin, but it's Friday Live, and we never miss. We never miss, baby. We're spending a lot of time on rankings updates, weight class changes. Okay, folks, that we're going to be talking about. Weight class changes are happening. A lot of Wrestle-Offs are happening, which actually include Campbell University, folks, which we will be live streaming tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern Time here on BEG Wrestling. Okay, Dom Saccone is going to co-host it with me. All right, so we got big-time Wrestle-Offs. This is technically, Kevin, the first time BEG Wrestling has ever live-streamed wrestling. Okay? So, folks, huge opportunity to watch it. Tune in tomorrow, but it's going to be breaking it all down for you. A lot of weight class updates. We got a lot of insiders. People are sending us updates, folks, by the minute, and it's to the point where Kevin is losing his brain over there. If you take a look, his bobbleheads fell off the shelf getting ready for the show.
All on me, dude.
It's
unbelievable.
Crazy. I got a baby crying, dude, and feeding, and Kevin's got kids over there, dude. We're working. But, folks, you can call in live. I don't know. This is not as prepared of a show as we have in the past, but, folks, you can call in live and join the show. The link is in the comments. In addition to that, go to begwrestling.com. This is where you're going to find all of our rankings, all of our everything, and even more to come. And here is breaking news, folks. Articles will be coming. We have an additional source who's now going to be writing, and he's an insider. Let me tell you, folks, he's an insider, and going to be writing us articles, okay, that we're going to be posting on this website, as well as some additional video. We got a lot of stuff coming, but so link in the comments, folks, begwrestling.com, but a lot of stuff happened this week, including a huge transfer that Kevin is not happy about, folks. So we're going to get into that. Man. The Vega, dude, and
horrible.
But maybe before we get into that, Kevin, let's talk about some U23, man. Let's update us on what's happened, because it's pretty breaking.
Absolutely. News. So, we got 10 guys at U23s, and not one of our strongest teams, but we do have a couple hammers in there. Big surprise, Mitchell Messenbrink. We kind of expected him to win gold. He's the defending U20 gold medalist. Last year he won U20s. He dominated the whole event. So we kind of figured U23 is not a problem. And he won this first match 7-2 over Kazakhstan, and then he loses to Japan 11-8. And that was a shocker. He was coming hard on the guy at the end. He's just freaking going at it. And then sure enough, the guy has a knee injury all of a sudden.
That is shocking.
Yeah. And it's just like, so he lost 11-8, but luckily the guy he lost to made it to the final. So he got dragged back in to repechage, and he will get the winner of Australia and Iran. And if he wins that, he'll go for bronze medal against Bahrain. So yeah, that was a big surprise.
That's shocking. The leader in our clubhouse for Hajj winner this year, Mitchell Messenbrink, going out there and he's 11-8.
Yeah, wow. He's a freestyle stud too, man.
Yeah.
And I know everyone's going to be, Japan is just unstoppable. We got to remember that Japan is really good and really has a huge depth from 57 to 74. But after that, they have nothing, But they have a lot of depth in those weight classes, those lightweight classes. Another really good outcome actually was Jacob Cardenas, who is wrestling for Michigan now, was at Cornell. This is third consecutive U23s, which is impressive in itself. And he won a silver medal in 2022. He won a bronze medal last year, and he made it to the finals. So he's going to be wrestling his world final tomorrow. He looked great. And Zach, he had the worst draw. He had to wrestle the U20 gold medalist from Russia, first round, in a pigtail. That's who he had. two-time U23 medalist, and that's what he has is the Russian U20, and he teched him 10-0.
Jacob
Cardenas,
Cardenas, an absolute dog. Okay.
beast, man.
Is that maybe a result of him moving to the Michigan coaching?
No,
maybe
man.
Sean Bourmet? Oh, I don't know, Kevin. I'm just asking questions.
Man. He's already been there and done that with Cornell. Come on. You know what? Okay. No, seriously though, it wasn't his choice to leave, and because of that, I wish him the absolute best. I'd love to see him win a national championship this year. I do mean that. He didn't want to leave Cornell, but he had to because he graduated in Ivy League rules. But he looks great, man. And I don't know if for those of you who have not seen Jacob Cardenas, he is like a mountain of a man, dude. He is jacked, and he let's see, he won 10-0 over the Russian, then he won 5-1 over Poland. He pinned his next guy from Georgia, and then he had a Hungarian in the semis who had pinned and teched everybody, and Cardenas beat him 5-2. However, pump the brakes. In the final, he has a beast. He's got an Iranian who wrestled him in the finals of Worlds in 2022, and he teched Cardenas 10-0. So that's going to be a tough match for him. Exactly. And I'll tell you what, this Iranian, he's a U17 gold, a two-time U20 gold, a U23 gold, but usually he smokes everyone through these tournaments. He's tech, pin, and he's really been having some close matches in this tournament. He had a 3-1 quarterfinal match. I think he won by 4 points in the semis, so it's not his usual self. And Cardenas looks good, man. If he wins this gold, he'll have the trifecta. He'll have a gold, bronze, and silver at U23s. So,
and you have to be happy if you're Bourmet and Michigan fans out there, because
yeah, man,
he's solid.
He's a good get, man. I like, we have him at ranked second on the BEG rankings, for a reason. He's a stud.
Yes,
speaking of studs, Stoddard, the heavyweight from Army, what a tournament he had. Wasn't expected to do a whole lot, but he won his first match 8-1, and then he had a Russian, real tough Russian, and he pulled that out 1-1 criteria. The point the Russian got was a clock point, and then Stoddard got a push out. Real exciting match, but he won. And then he had to wrestle the Iranian monster, Masumi, who is the guy that beat Ben Keeter at U20 World Finals. He's beaten Mason Paris by a lot, and he's a 3-time U20 gold medalist, a U17 gold medalist, a U23 gold medalist, but he's behind Zare. He's a beast. He's 6'5". That didn't go so well for Stoddard. He lost 10-0, but he's going for a bronze medal tomorrow, man, and that's awesome. That's more than we expected, really.
Hey,
so,
props
kudos to him,
Tell
man.
me about Patrick Kennedy before you forget about him.
Well, Patrick Kennedy wrestles tomorrow. Patrick Kennedy, Max Gallagher, John Wiley. These are all guys that and Dene, they wrestle tomorrow because they did half the weights today, half tomorrow. Gunderson got pulled back into repechage. The only guy that was eliminated out of the 5 was Nick Bouzakis, lost first round, and then the guy he lost to lost 11-3 in the quarters. So Nick is done, but everyone else is still alive. Honestly, I think I wouldn't be surprised if we left there with a silver and 3 bronze medals, maybe.
Yeah, pretty.
That looks
right. Yikes.
Yeah, I mean, we had Mitchell written in for a gold,
Mitchell
not that it was
is
a give
the
me.
Shocker here.
Yeah.
Folks, really by the way, comment in the comments also. If you don't feel like calling in, you can comment. We will feature your comment live on the show. As Austin said, he was about to score when Japan had the knee injury to make it 4-1. Thank you, Austin. He clarified what you said.
Yeah, man, it's ridiculous. They got to do something about it. It's like the PJ Duke thing at U20s. It's just like this injury crap. It looks bad. It gives wrestling a bad name, and it really makes it so your endurance isn't a factor in these matches. And I can't even watch it when they do that. I get so pissed because it's just like, come on, man. Everybody knows you're not hurt, okay? Everybody knows you need a breather. And, I was thinking about that. When you take in folk style, right? When you take an injury timeout like that, they let the other guy choose position. Usually he chooses down and gets an escape, right? They got to do something, you know? And I know that there's going to be times where people get hurt, but that's just part of the sport, you know?
Yeah, there's no incentive not to, basically.
Yeah. There's no injury time. There's a blood time, right? And it's like you can't really help stop bleeding sometimes. You just keep bleeding, but there's no injury time. It's just injury unlimited, you know? You can take as many as you want. It's bull crap.
That is
I think they have to do something.
That is ridiculous. Okay.
Now, I'll tell you what, even if they had it where like the second injury time is a point, or you are at least parterre position, you got to go down. I mean, something, because then people would think twice about doing it, but it's out of control, man. They got to do something about it. It's just not. And you know what?
Well, it's just straight up Fugazi, dude. It's Fugazi is what it is.
It is, man.
And our sport is the farthest thing from Fugazi, dude. So to bring this element of Fugaziness into it where you can just fake an injury, come on, man. Yeah, we got to figure that out, dude. That's pretty critical. Rob Huey says, why do the best guys never wrestle U23? Too close to the NCAA season, maybe?
Well, here's the thing. It's a very good question, because when you look at U20s, everybody goes for that, right? You got U20s, you got the studs of the studs. U23s, not so much. I think part of it has to do with, yes, it's right before NCAAs, you know, like, you know, Messenbrink and all these other guys, Stoddard, they got the season coming right up. But more so, I think and this sounds like this is a ridiculous answer, but I think it just turned into something where people just didn't really care as much as U20s. You know, they weren't talking about as much. It wasn't marketed as well. And then the less stars go, all of a sudden, it's just kind of like you know, like juniors is always going to be solid. But that's another thing with wrestling. They have to do better in their marketing, man. Like, they need to put emphasis on U23s and get our best guys out there, because they're never out there. And one of the things I don't like about U23s is the way you can get on the team. Now, Mitchell Messenbrink didn't go to the U23 Nationals, right? Hunter Garvin won the spot in freestyle and Greco. However, they have a condition where if there's a guy at your weight that meets the age requirements, that placed top 3 at Final X on World Championships years, or top 3 at the Olympic Trials Challenge tournament, they get choice. So these guys go in there, they wrestle this tournament, they win, and then they wait a month, sometimes 6 weeks, before the other guy gets to say, yeah, I'm going to take the spot. I think it's better for our team, but I think there should at least be a Wrestle-Off or something, because people are like, screw that, man. I'm not going to go wrestle a tournament, win it, and then wonder if I'm going to be on the world team. Happened last year to Julian Ramirez. I remember he waited like 6 weeks, and you know, the guy got the spot over him. Now, I understand why they do it, because, you know, the guys were at the Olympic trials, and these guys that won U23 Nationals, they most likely were at the same trials and didn't place as high or had the opportunity. But it's a sport where, man, the thing I love about wrestling is it's always decided on the mat, you know, and I think that this is something where you got to at least have a Wrestle-Off. And yeah, would Messenbrink have beaten Hunter Garvin? Yeah, but at least decided on the mat, right?
I can't even argue that, Kevin. Yeah. Settle it on the mat. Isn't that what this sport is really essentially all about at the end of the day?
Yeah.
Just grit for grit. So, man.
Yeah. I'm glad Messenbrink's on the team, but, you know, it's or at least a
great
month,
question by
Rob
Huey, dude. Rob Huey came in there.
That is what we're talking about, man.
Changing the whole direction of the show with that question. Unbelievable.
The more we got to talk about.
No, that's good stuff, dude.
Yeah, so looking at, you know, like I said, we're not going to have a real good turnout for this, I don't think. But the interesting thing is it ends on Saturday, and then the next day in the same arena, the Senior World Championship starts. Same exact place, same exact arena. Beautiful country of Albania. And so that's we got our 4 studs working on those, you know, with Vito, James Green, Jordan Burroughs, and David Taylor. And that's going to be real interesting, because I don't know if we've ever sent a more credentialed team to the non-Olympic Worlds than the team we have right now. I mean, we got Vito's a defending world champion at the weight. James Green is a silver and bronze medalist at 70 kilograms, and he's healthy now. And then we got, obviously Jordan Burroughs, 12 World Olympic teams.
Spicy.
And David Taylor. So 2 Olympic champions we're sending,
Dude, very spicy. Cannot wait for that. Oh, my goodness. So many storylines too, man.
Yeah, like people are talking, if David Taylor, David Taylor said to life, it's not a given.
David Taylor putting his neck out on the line there lately, right, Kevin?
Oh, man. I'll tell you what, man.
A number of different ways, you could say.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not happy with David Taylor right now, to say the least.
You're not real happy with David Taylor.
No.
Penn State's not real happy with David Taylor.
I'm pretty pissed off, and you want to talk about that?
Let's go. Let's talk about it, man. You know what? I'm gonna load up the picture because I don't know. There it is. Look. So apparently, and Kevin, I gotta let the audience know because, folks, we actually broke this news. Okay, factually speaking, BEG Wrestling broke this news that Sergio Vega flipped. He straight up flipped from Cornell to Oklahoma State, dude. And it was probably during the middle of the interview with Flo. While David Taylor was interviewing with Flo, he's probably literally Vegas back there signing the documents as Taylor's talking to Piles, telling him how, it's fair game out there, right? That's what he said.
Two-sided road or whatever,
Two-sided road.
Here's the thing, man, is I know there's a lot of, because, you'll get the people that David Taylor can do no wrong for, right? And I used to be one of those people. And they're going to give you a couple excuses on why this is okay. First, they're going to say, David Taylor came into the whole recruiting thing late. He missed out on this class. So he's just recruiting guys that they didn't know at the time that David Taylor was going to be the coach. Okay, that's one thing they're going to say. Then they're going to say, he wasn't signed with Cornell. He was just committed. Then the third thing they're going to say is, well, look at what the Cornell coach did, Mike Gray. When 2 days before his first semester started, he switched from Lehigh to Cornell. So you can't really complain about that. And here's my rebuttal to those 3 things. Those are the 3 most common things I'm hearing, right? Or the fourth is the kids got to go wherever he wants to go. Well, that's fine, right? But first of all, David Taylor, this is the 4th guy he's gotten to flip from a commitment to a team. So clearly he's gunning after committed guys. Yeah.
How long has he been there?
Not long, man. Not long at all. And
wow,
he's definitely they're supposed next year, and he just keeps. I don't know what they're gonna do, man. They're gonna have to. They got like 50 guys on their team, and they're gonna have to definitely do some work on that. But I'll tell you what, man.
They just signed Zahid as a coaching member of the RTC, I believe.
Yep. Yep. But.
Just
so then, the whole
more just
David
trigger there. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, the whole Dave, well, it's a 2-way street. He kept saying, because this is what happened is Yanni sent out a tweet, right? Yanni sent out a tweet saying, I can't believe how college coaches they're going after guys, and that was directed towards the Vega situation, obviously. And then Rob Cole chimed in and said, well, maybe you forgot about your recruiting when a certain coach from Happy Valley was all the way up to the day.
Let's talk about that for a minute, Kevin.
Yeah. So
because let's talk about that for a minute. Hold on. I want to I want to take a break. All you Penn State fans, I want to take a little time out, and I'm going to break down that response. Okay, so Yanni tweets, "This is out of line," basically, and then Rob Cole basically responds, "Let me remind you, Yanni, of what happened when Rob Cole was at Cornell recruiting him." Successfully, and yet, however, he was mentioning Yanni during those days as those days were leading up, and mentions Penn State calling him a lot. Who are we talking
Yanni blocked
about?
his
Are
number.
we talking about Kale?
Of course we are.
Yanni had to block whose number?
Kale.
Kale's number.
Now, here's the thing: is Yanni's a different cat, right? Yanni is loyal to a fault, right? And Yanni was practicing with Cornell. He was going to Cornell no matter what from day one, right? And so that was a little unusual. Normally, people aren't going to be blocking Cal on their phone. And Rob Cole, you got to love Rob Cole. He mentions it to kind of be like, pump the brakes, Yanni. This happened with you too. But at the same time, he likes to throw a jab in any way he can to Cal. And yeah, I don't know. I think
Hold on, Kevin,
then Yanni was like, oh yeah,
I'm writing down in my notes here. Fact, Yanni Diakomahalis blocked Cale Sanderson's number. Right? We're verifying that?
Yep. Yeah.
Wow,
it's nuts,
what is
man.
going on? So what? This is a ruthless recruiting game, Kevin. So
it is. So what happened after that is
that game?
Cornell doesn't play that game because they really have their hands tied. They're not handing people bags of cash. They can't. The Ivy League schools aren't doing what the other schools are doing. Now, with that being said, you don't see guys leaving Cornell. Okay? You don't see – this is a very unusual situation. You do not see guys – and I know everyone's really going to be like, well, Mason Gibson. I don't give a crap about Mason Gibson. I'm sorry. He's no Sergio Vega, okay? And this is very unusual. But what happened is – so this is what I heard what happened, okay? And this is from someone inside the program.
Speculation. Give us your speculation.
This is very good. Okay, so Vega picks up the phone, says, I'm committed to Cornell. Thank you for calling, blah, blah, blah. The calls keep rolling in, right? I'm talking several calls a day. All of a sudden, money starts being brought over. You don't want to. You're gonna wrestle for Cornell. You want to wrestle in the Big 12, like Cornell. Like you're in the Ivy League now. You're gonna have be in a conference tournament with Brown and Penn, and how exciting is that? And
those are facts.
We can give you X amount of dollars. Now, I'm not even going to say the amount I heard because it's all I think it's all bull crap, all the amounts.
It was speculation. This is all under speculation. Why can't you say it? I'm very interested, Kevin.
Because I don't know if it's okay, so they said, it would be $50,000 to come to the campus, right?
Okay.
And then another $100K to flip the commit. So $150K. So what they said is all of a sudden when he got offered the money, well, they're going to add on to that or he'll leave there. And you got to watch out. It's like those girls that you get, right? Like if you're hooking up with a girl that has a boyfriend and then she becomes your girlfriend, you got to watch her because she might be going on and being with another dude because that's what she did with her boyfriend before you, right? Same thing. Vega could be wanting to switch over somewhere else.
That's the rule, Kevin. You don't ever marry the girl that you stole from another guy because inevitably that'll happen again, right?
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. So they're going to have to be high maintenance on that, right? But so they said he decided he wanted to go. He's like, if I'm getting offered that, and then David Taylor supposedly said, listen, to make it look good, tell your coach that you want to open back up and you wanted to go visit Oklahoma State, yada, yada, yada. So he wants to go to Oklahoma State, but the whole time that was just like a pony show, like they were.
It was a pony show.
Making it look like, he wasn't sure yet, but then he went there because if he just says I'm going to Oklahoma State, they're going to be like, okay, how much money? But if he went to Oklahoma State, he fell in love with the campus and he talked to the coaches, and then all of a sudden it's everything about everything but the money.
Kevin, we know, we've seen plenty pony shows lately. Wow.
So that's all of a sudden
that's the real story,
and I'll tell you
dude?
what,
Probably, maybe.
Yes.
We're speculating entirely, folks. We're speculating entirely, but that might be the real story.
And I think it's funny how, a lot of people are like, well, it's not necessarily money that flipped him. Come on, man. This dude was training at Cornell. He wanted he's a 4.0 student. He wanted the Ivy League diploma, right? He's a
From the other
4.0
side of the
student,
country,
grades off the
right?
chart. Yep. And it wasn't like he just said, he knew. Here's my thing, all right? Not to bounce all over, but kids can go wherever they want, right? But they should be like this. All of a sudden, I'm not sure if I want to continue this commitment. There's a few things I want to look into. David Taylor is now the coach at Oklahoma State. Maybe that's a place I want to go. That's okay with me. But when you all of a sudden are just getting contacted to make the kid reopen the situation, that's where I think it's kind of shady. All right. And Cornell doesn't have, nobody's going to have commitment letters soon, but Cornell never did. They're called likely letters because the Ivy League didn't let you have a commitment letter.
That's an Ivy League thing?
It was called likely letters, they're called. Like, I'm likely going to you.
Start by changing the name of those letters.
That's kind of cheesy altogether.
Because that sounds like I'm likely to get out of this. That's what that sounds like to me. But Kevin, let me defend David Taylor real quick because, okay, as David Taylor stated, dude, he's just brand new into this. What do you want him to do, dude? Do you want him to he's now playing. These are the rules now, as Tom Brands has made very clear, right? And now David Taylor's coming into the scene. Why shouldn't he do this?
But here's the thing. He didn't even look at Vega after who's number one. Only after Super 32s was he like, I want this guy. I got the money. Let's do it. It's just, it sets a bad precedent, And you know what? Cornell,
do the same thing.
They're going to, it's just.
It's ugly.
Here's one thing I'll say, Zach. One thing I'll say, Zach, is if I'm Iowa, you know what I'm doing? I'm calling up Vega right now because Vega, money's important to him, right? I'm calling Vega up and I'm going, come here, man, and I will offer you this amount of money because you've already seen that he's the type of guy that will switch for money, right?
Okay, now that is brilliant, Kevin. No, just say, what did they offer you? We'll offer you more, okay? If you're a money guy, here's more money. Come to us instead. Now, that's brilliant, Kevin. That might be the smartest thing you said all night. And you said a lot of smart things tonight, Kevin. But
I think that it's just not I just don't there's Oklahoma State is a great school, right? And it's a very appealing situation to go to, right? But everyone says, well, he's going to have a better room to practice with. I don't know that yet because right now he's got Vito and Yanni, and depending on how his weight goes, maybe even Meyer Shapiro over at Oklahoma State right now. Yes, they're going to get more guys, but he's got RBY in the RTC to practice with.
Well, I would argue that you bring up a good point, Kevin. Let's talk about the training partner. So I mentioned that he's from he's from what, California, right? And
Arizona.
Arizona. He's been West Coast. He's been flying to Ithaca to train with some of the greatest wrestlers in the United States of America. Okay. Yeah. And now he's going to Oklahoma State. Who are his training partners now? Maybe RBY. That's it. So if you break this down to a training partner room, a practice room breakdown, is this a good decision?
He did go to high school with RBY too, and that's obviously I think had something to do with it as well. But this is why I'm heartbroken, and it hurts me to say this, but Cornell had the number one recruiting class, right? And Oklahoma State was second. That flip-flopped after this. I don't care about that, but I was more excited about Vega than I am Anthony Knox. And you and your dad know that. I was,
know that
after
first
Super
and foremost,
32,
Kevin,
I was
talked about him.
Oh, I was like, this is a Vito Arujau that can ride on
Vega.
top.
You put him with three names. Dude, it was Vito, Yanni, and you said Vega, dude. Sorry, dude. We're slight delay there, but yeah.
No, you're right, dude. This dude's nasty on top. He just dominated. Everyone forgets that he's only had one loss this last year, and you know who that loss was to? It was when he bumped up a weight and he lost to Bo Bassett at the U20 U.S. Open semis, 13-11. Barely lost at the end. He kind of blew the lead at the end. But you see how sought after Bo Bassett is. This kid is arguably, I think he's going to be better than Bo Bassett in college. And people might think I'm crazy. he is a top 10 ranked big board in the class, but I'm telling you, this dude is going to be really good. And
So you're saying
I
right
was
now he's
so
here,
bummed to see him
he's
go.
a stock you still want to buy, folks, because he's only going up. Kevin has him in the class of Vito and Yanni class, and understandably why you're so upset, Kevin. And it is
he's really good,
unique, but listen, I mean, David Taylor is here, man, and he's playing the game now. And the facts are that the game has changed literally within like the past year, and David Taylor comes in, and it's like, as a coach, it's the same perspective as a wrestler. What do I need to do to take any type of advantage that I can? David Taylor is coming into this, and look, Kale's been here. Kale's tenured now. Kale's a little old school. Like, David Taylor is the new generation. He's going to come in here. He's going to revolutionize his sport. I love it for the entire sport of wrestling. But I got to tell you, we did an initial episode when this coaching hire initially broke, and I said, is this the beginning of the end for Penn State? And my dad, who's coming back on Tuesday, folks, we tried last week. I forgot the audio. A lot of stuff going on there. I got kids flying around. I got a lot of stuff. Anyway, I think it might be the beginning of the end for Penn State, dude. And I'm not joking, and I wasn't joking then, but Dad got angry. But listen, he's playing the game right now better than Mike Gray. He's playing the game better than Kale right now.
Here's the thing, man. You know how I feel about Mike Gray on certain things. I will tell you this. If Rob Cole was still the Cornell coach, this never would have happened. And it brings up an important point. You have to – okay, this is kind of a weird analogy, but I used to do insurance, right, for a living, insurance sales.
Sure.
And when you do insurance sales, you sell someone their insurance. And it used to be where you had to keep up on their renewals, because at the renewals, they could switch companies. So their renewals came around, and you had to like recruit them on their renewal to make sure they didn't leave. Then all of a sudden they made it where you can just leave anytime you want during your policy. So it wasn't enough just to make the sale, but you had to keep them in your company by constantly maintaining them as a customer, right? This is what it is now in college wrestling. You gotta recruit the guy, right? And like we said about the ex-girlfriend thing, right? Like, or the girlfriend with the boyfriend who, yada yada. Mm-hmm. You got to keep this guy in line, because he can go anywhere he wants, anytime he wants. The transfer portal is bullcrap. What's
you have
that?
To just continue to recruit them. You're never done recruiting.
It's ugly, because it's like you got to just keep paying out that money, right? And a lot of people are like, well, maybe it's a blessing in disguise. No, nothing's a blessing in disguise. Yeah, could he have left after a year? Maybe. But maybe after a year, he does so well there and he's so comfortable. What's that?
What? Laughing. Nothing is a blessing in disguise.
No, it's bullcrap, man. Like, it's a high maintenance thing that you're gonna have to do. I don't envy these coaches at all, man. And I'll tell you what, Mike Gray better get on the horn with Anthony Knox and the Cortez brothers and the other top 50 guys they have in that class. And you better make sure your ducks are in a row, because Taylor doesn't give a crap, man. He'll take Anthony Knox over there too. He doesn't care.
Taylor is savage. He's coming in here and just taking heads, dude.
And he kept saying on the Flow interview, which I find ironic too, because the Flow interview is when Vega was actually at Oklahoma State, like when the same day they had that interview, right? And he's like, people are excited about Oklahoma State, and it's a two-way street. Okay, I agree, it's a two-way street. The guy has to want to go there, and you have to want the guy. However, it wasn't initially a two-way street. He wasn't saying, you know what? I don't know if I'm happy with Cornell anymore. I kind of want to all of a sudden look at Oklahoma State. That's not what happened. You made it a two-way streak by dangling the carrot out in front of them, offering the money. And am I bitter? Yeah, I'm bitter, because Cornell doesn't have that to offer. They can't do that like Iowa, Oklahoma State, everyone else can. what they can do and it's been very successful doing is they offer an Ivy League diploma. And if the guys are in a situation where they're not hard up for cash immediately, that's something that's going to well pay off for itself in the future, right?
Also,
But the
correct me if
problem
I'm
is,
wrong, Kevin.
yeah,
If you do go to the Ivy League, your scholarship is not even technically athletic; it's an academic, right? So
you got
even if you
it's
get
not
injured,
it's
you don't
basically
lose your
financial
scholarship.
aid.
And I only know that because my brother went to Penn to wrestle, full ride, got injured, and come to find it's an academic scholarship because it's an Ivy League, right? Correct? Is that right?
It's basically like this. Rob Cole always says, you can't be you can't make a lot of or I'm sorry. You have to make not a lot of money and then the school gets paid for. With the way financial aid works in New York State. If you make too much money, you're going to be paying out the pocket. You want to be right in that area where you're not too poor because you have to pay something, but you don't make like a ton of money. You want because then the financial aid covers it for you. And as
Okay.
far as the athletic goes, there's no athletic scholarships. The only thing that can be do is
Yeah.
a coach can put his put his foot on the gas with admissions and put in a good word, and that can help someone get in, to the college. And that's
Yeah,
another
so
thing. A
essentially,
lot of
folks, let me do a promo for Ivy League schools. If you go there on a wrestling scholarship, it's technically going to be an academic scholarship, which if you ever get injured, you can't finish your career, you will still finish with an Ivy League degree. To me, that is the biggest motivation to go to Cornell or Penn or any of these Ivy League schools to wrestle because, dude, it's all about that degree. I mean, at the end of the day, like right now, we don't even have professional wrestling. So to me, you're literally going to one of these other schools for a quick payday. But after that, after the fact, it's going to be very detrimental because you sacrifice an Ivy League or say you get hurt and then you lose your scholarship or something. You don't know. At an Ivy League school, dude, it's guaranteed like you're going to have an Ivy League degree. To me, that is by far the biggest motivation to go.
It is. You got to think long term. But the problem is too, though, Zach, is we don't know all these kids' situations at home. There could be, usually these kids that are able to travel and do all this stuff, usually they're having an okay home life, right? Like their parents have some money or they wouldn't be able to go to all these tournaments and yada, yada. It kind of works hand in hand, as right or as wrong as that is. But some of these kids, man, you don't know. Maybe they're poor as dirt and their family is poor and $100,000 and $50,000, 150, that's life-changing money for them. And they all of a sudden have a house and cars and the kids going, all my family's problems are going away.
And that's most people. That's most people, Kevin. That's most people, and that's why that works now. I mean, that's why that approach is working. That's why, I want to do my quick promo for Ivy Leagues because really the long-term perspective is in the value of the Ivy League degree, if we're being honest.
Right. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. Like, was it a good decision for him?
Quick buck. They can't afford to pay you that quick buck that Oklahoma State's.
Well, they can't. They just can't with the rules. The Ivy League, the way the Ivy League is, they just don't. That's just not how they go. They don't care about the athletic programs. It's sad. Cornell, what Rob Cole did with Cornell is unbelievable. He really took them and put them on the map. We will, man. I got so much to say about that. It's crazy. Like, he took it and made it where, all of a sudden you could go get an Ivy League diploma and wrestle for a school that's competing for maybe not national titles every year, but trophies and national champions and you want to go international afterwards, proven doing that. It's the best of both worlds. Now, was this a good decision for Vega? Only time will tell, but I will say this. He is a 4.0 student, and he didn't need help getting into Cornell. He got in there, and he's going to get a better degree at Cornell. All right, and I think he had better training partners right now. Down the road, who knows?
We talked about it. We came to the conclusion he definitely had better training partners at Cornell.
Yep,
better degree at Cornell.
And it's tough too because
so why did he flip? There's only one reason, right?
I'm thinking a lot about this coming from now that I'm on the screwed side of this. I'm thinking a lot about, these guys, you know what goes into the recruiting? How much time and, plus you got to talk with admissions. Plus you're not recruiting other guys because they got the Cortez brothers and Vega. They're done with the 130, like 141 weight class. They're not recruiting anymore. All of a sudden you got all of a sudden you can, but guess what? It's so far along the line that most of the class is gone. And all that time you put in, all the work that the guys put in, and it's just
Okay,
it's tough,
Kevin.
man.
Let me throw a theoretical question at you here. We'll have to move on, but I gotta ask you one more question here. Say theoretically, 1 year from now, is David Taylor allowed to do the same thing a year from now? Or in a year from now, are we allowed to completely criticize him at a whole complete different degree? Because he does have the excuse right now of he's just fresh in. He hasn't even had a chance to recruit these kids. That's a legit excuse, okay? I get that. And
here's the thing. When he came in and he was given a lot of money to go get some people. He took a bunch of people. Do you know how much less work that is than actually going through scouting talent? I'm not saying he can't do that, but what I am saying is he hasn't had to. So he's just getting it handed to him. So why is he going to change that? Everything's come so easy. Why is he going to switch that up when you could just let other schools scout the talent for you? And, look at this guy just dominated Super 32s. Now I'm interested. He's committed. Whatever. Let's go buy him, And I don't see him changing.
Button.
Yeah. Seriously, though, what? It's not going to change. It's just going to get worse.
But that is not fair, says Kevin.
No, it sucks, man.
That is not fair. Come on, man. We worked for him in Cornell, dude. And then just going to come slip him a check and steal him? Get out of here, David Taylor. Okay, I'll say this. Now, that was acting like you, Kevin. Now I'm going to act like me. I'll say this. This is fair game, David Taylor. You can, okay, I didn't have a chance. A year from now, okay, 1 year from now, if we're back here in a year and it's total savage game, then first of all, I want to hear where Kale's at if that's the case. But I don't know.
Well, the one thing Kale's always said is you can't take stuff like this personal. He's always said that,
Kale said it, and apparently Kale's calling Yanni. Yanni's blocking Kale's number. Where do you think David Taylor learned it from? Probably Kale, right?
Everything he's doing, he's learned from Kale, and it's just that Kale maybe is a little more, I don't know,
under the radar.
He's a little smoother.
A little smoother? Wow.
Yeah.
Shots
like he's just not as. Well, now it sucks because now I'm gonna.
Are you talking about takedowns or?
Yeah. Now I'm a Sergio fan next week,
Oh my goodness!
I had to take my David Taylor bobbleheads and chuck them. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, three of them,
fall
right?
down, man. No. I ripped it down, Zach. No, let's move on.
Folks, I want to just wrap it up.
One guy.
You kind of went into that, and it's very unfortunate because, you talk about it, Kevin, and I forgot that we recorded an entire episode, folks, and my audio was all jacked up. I'm sorry, dude. And it was my dad's first episode back, and it was crushing. And he was fire, absolute fire, dude. We had Kevin, we had Terry. It was a whole BEG party. And after the next day, I did 6 hours of leg work and on the phone with call support. I figured out an Apple update later, dude, is it recorded my audio, not my dad's. Literally, I didn't have any connections wrong, Kevin. I tested it at the camera. It wasn't wrong, Kevin. Anyway, he's back again next week Wayne is back, dude. And he's going to be back in a big way, dude. So he's fired up.
He
was
fired up,
fired
man.
up last week.
You know
fired
what
up to
I
have him
noticed
back,
about
dude.
Wayne? Wayne
What's that?
has got a little edge to him right now, too, don't you think?
Yes,
He's got a little edge to him right now.
Folks, you haven't seen him in quite a few months. Wayne's coming back.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure last time you seen him, he was on his high horse holding a Penn State championship trophy, walking off into the sunset.
A cape.
Now he's coming back. He is not real happy. So I cannot wait. He is fired up, dude. David Taylor came in and took some of his space. Tom Brands is out there buying some of his space. I love it.
Tom Brands.
Iowa,
if you're
dude,
listening
they're
to
women's
this,
wrestling. Real quick, they're women's wrestling.
Yeah.
There might as well not even be any other women's wrestling programs out there because they are just completely dominant, dude. Penn State, hello, wake up, start a women's program. Everyone else, start a women's program. You're going to be way behind the curve here if you don't have a. Iowa is way ahead of the curve, dude. In their women's program, they got. Dude, Kennedy Blades going out there, man. It's unreal, man. And my dad likes to make fun of their little new room because it didn't got no windows, dude. But, you know, the more I hear from him, the more sour he gets. It sounds like the score might be getting a little closer and closer.
Well,
all right,
you know, if Tom Brands is for some odd reason listening to this, go call up Sergio Vega. Go call up Ladarian Lockett.
Yeah.
Call these guys up, man. They're looking.
I completely agree.
Take him, man. He's already proven that he'll go for the money, so give him the money.
No.
Because this guy is going to be a 3-time national champion, I'm telling you. Or at least he was going to be at Cornell.
You heard it here first. Oh, he would have been. He still might be.
Yeah, he might just be a 2-timer now. Well, he is a 2-timer, literally.
All right, but Kevin, I'll give you a break, man. I appreciate you sharing your true thoughts and opinions because, folks, I got to tell you real briefly, tomorrow, right here on BEG Wrestling, I got the thumbnail up now. I'm going to show up the matchups live. Kevin, put the music on, dude, because it's getting late in the show. People are getting tired. And wake up! Wake up tomorrow, 2 o'clock Eastern time. We are live streaming Campbell Wrestle-Offs in the parking lot of the football field. It's orange and black. Awesome. They're trying to cancel Campbell. We are not, dude. We are going out there. I'm going to be trying to pull board of director members. I'm pulling anyone and everyone I can. Staff members, dude. I want Hannah coming on. I got questions ready, folks. It's going to be absolutely live. It's live. Board of directors will be, I'm going to be asking them to come on. And if they don't come on, I'm going to be calling them out for not coming on. So, and I have questions. I'm going to make them answer real questions. Kevin, no word salad because you know what the goal is tomorrow? Campbell Wrestling. And this is a thriving wrestling university that has now been burdened with a cancellation of scholarships and inevitably what's going to become a cancellation of the entire wrestling program if we don't do something. So, folks, I am actually waking up at 5 a.m., leaving here no later. Thank you, Kevin. Show that logo, folks. Go to CampbellWrestling.com or whatever it is. Go to BEGWrestling.com because our link takes it to you. I'm leaving at no later than 6 a.m. I'm driving 6 hours down to North Carolina tomorrow morning. We are live streaming the Wrestle-Offs. And Kevin, dude, this is not some scrum team. Okay?
No, man.
We're talking about at least 4 wrestlers in our rankings. This university is legit, folks. Like, they are coming. Yep. They got a Claw has a match coming up on UFC Fight Pass. It's at the intermission of Campbell and Nebraska duel. I don't understand what's happening at Campbell. There's being no effort being made by the staff, by these board of directors, and I am really hoping for the opportunity to get these people on camera live tomorrow, Kevin, because I'm going to ask them real questions. And if they give me a stupid word salad, dude, I'm going to ask them the exact same question again and say, no, that does not count, dude, because,
I mean, what is they're noted for their wrestling program. It's not that people are talking about Campbell football or Campbell volleyball. It's wrestling, man. That's what they're known for. And you know what's really sad is they have a really good reputation for taking kids that are kind of in trouble, don't have the best upbringing, and giving them something with wrestling and the program to get their life
Campbell
structured.
has a tradition of making people better. I think that's as simple as you can say it, dude. They make people better, and especially at this wrestling program. And probably more so in this wrestling program than probably any other program necessarily at the university. If you actually do your research and dig into it, Kevin, I would challenge you. The wrestling program is the most successful program at the university.
By far. And Gary Cole did a wonderful job. When he went in there, took over, he did a wonderful job. He got them out, even more on the map. And then their coach now, he's doing all sorts of stuff. They had the wrestling match on the aircraft. He's bringing in big duels. They're doing all sorts of different things. And, it's just a really sad situation.
Dude, the Wrestle-Offs are happening in the football lot tomorrow. So, and I believe the match that Claw is having the UFC Fight Pass at, I think they're doing that in like the football stadium. Dude, they're doing things that everyone else should be doing. Everyone else. And then all of a sudden, we have decisions being made by people in an organization that I'm going to hopefully have the opportunity to question. I have their background. I have their career. I have their entire LinkedIn I have their resumes. I'm going to ask them about their resumes and how they've become into this position and how they then, with that resume, have then come to this conclusion that this wrestling program should essentially within a year or two be defunct, which to me is inexcusable. And I, folks, have 15 years of corporate America, Fortune 500 corporate America hiring manager experience. So I looked. All I did was look at resumes and hire people. And I've looked at this Campbell University staff, and I've looked at their resumes. And I've looked at these board of directors. And, okay, there's some big names there. Apparently someone's friends with Michael Jordan. I don't care. Bring him on. Okay, bring these board of directors because I want to question their decision making, and it's going to be happening tomorrow live. And
all right, the only thing I'd have to say is question the grimy subject of. So you're telling me that you're not going to let your scholarship athletes wrestle there?
That's one.
What
What
could you possibly say to that? How are you gonna weasel out of that? Because that is the grimiest thing I've heard of this whole situation. I mean, it trumps
Kevin,
everything.
We're going to be
really
talking about a lot of questionable decisions that have been made. But folks, that'll be tomorrow live. But we got to move on, Kevin, because I want to.
Yeah.
We have rankings updates. I want to make sure we get to these.
Yeah, man. So Zach, this week has been crazy with. I've never seen rankings that every day I'm getting emails and text messages from people of 5, 6, 7, 8 guys that are switching weights or redshirting now or actually coming back. And how many times have I done these rankings this week? I don't know. We're going to be posting the new up-to-date rankings this weekend, Zach, do you think we'll do?
Yes, they'll be up this weekend.
Okay.
And listen, Kevin, I do have 141 up. 3 weight classes that I don't know if you wanted to specifically mention. It was like 141, 165, 197. But folks, listen. Here's the deal. We have updates literally coming in by the minute. So we're making these updates on the website as we can. But
that's you can take that down.
the 141.
Because the new rank. Yeah, I was just hitting you up about one of the names on there. With these, they're all the ones I sent you. which we're going to be posting, they're different from what we have right now. So if you go on our website right now, just know that a lot has changed. I mean, just to kind of give you an idea, Anthony Noto is going 133 now. Okay, so that's huge news. He was 125. We originally said he was going 133, and everyone's like, no, no, no. He lives down the road from me, and I thought he was going 133. Turns out he is going 133. Then, let's see here. Nebraska, we talked about Nebraska, all those guys going down, Allred going down, Pinto going down. So that means McDaniel can squeeze in there. And then NC State, we have Ryan Jack and Jackson Arrington are redshirting, while Kai Arene is going to move up to 141.
Okay,
Daniel
so
Cardenas
moving up to 141 there. Okay.
Daniel Cardenas from Stanford, redshirting. Chris Cannon, who was Northwestern, went to Michigan, now back at Northwestern. He is going 141, and Frankie Shahar is going to take a medical redshirt this year at 141. Let's see here. We got at North Carolina, we all know about Lachlan McNeil is moving up to 149, but as a result of that, Jaden Scott, their 149 pounder, is going down to 141. We do have him in the new rankings. Watch out for him. He's very, very good, very slick. And then let's see. We did put Swiderski in at 141 now. Everything I'm hearing says Swiderski is. We thought he was going to redshirt at 57. He's going down to 41.
Hold up. Are you serious?
Yes. Casey Swiderski. It was supposed to be Ekmandia was going to go down to 41. They were going to give him money to do that. And he's like, no, I can't make it. I'm not going down. And Swiderski goes, I'll go down for money. And he's going to make it
so it's
go
no
down
Jacob
there.
Frost. It's going to be Swiderski there?
Yep. Everything is in everything I sent you through the text has got
that's
all
my
the new
fault.
stuff
Kevin
in there.
sent them to me. I'm a little
well,
behind.
To be fair, I just sent them today, so I don't expect that you'd have them.
But I have last week's Iowa State lineup up, Kevin, as you're talking about them, and we have Jacob Frost there. We're going to update.
So
that. And I mentioned last week, we'll update them weekly.
So let's take this Iowa State lineup for example. No Jacob Frost, Swiderski there. Also, MJ Gatan is going to be at 65 now. So you can see that there's a lot going on. Also, there's one thing that I'm not positive on, and that's at Oklahoma State. Well, you got that there 157. It is a possibility that Caleb Fish could be going down to 157.
Oklahoma State.
I don't know. I don't know if he can beat Teague Travis. I don't know, but that is a rumor. But yeah, Iowa State, Connor Eaton would go 74 and Gatan down. Oklahoma State.
I got Oklahoma State up right now. You were talking about Teague
That
Travis.
looks good.
Any other?
Yeah, the only thing I don't know, there's a small possibility that Caleb Fish might go down to 157. It's not a definite by any means, but that's the only thing that might change on the lineup that you currently have right there. And we just got to spell Surber, S-U-R-B-E-R. Fix that. We'll fix that. Anyone else? Oh, no, Nebraska, you want to pull that up and we can show where that's going to switch?
Boom! Nebraska, folks.
Okay, so Nebraska, I'll wait for it to pop up on my end. They wanted to put McDaniel in, Cam McDaniel, who is a U20 World Bronze medalist. So what they did is they got Bubba Wilson they got Antrell Taylor to go to 57 from 65, Bubba Wilson from 74 to 65, Pinto from 84 to 74, and Allred from 97 to 84. So then they can squeeze McDaniel in, and that is going to make their lineup extremely solid. Now, the football player there, he's not coming back. He's trying to make the NFL. Harley Andrews is going to be their heavyweight this year, and that's going to be the whole year.
Hockmeyer?
Oh, God, what's his name?
Nutmaker?
Hosh
Here, dude, I liked him. Come on, man. By the way,
he's done.
They're
He's
not
done.
up to
He's gonna
date.
go to the
Kevin's
NFL.
talking about these, but folks, they will be updated this weekend, and we update them weekly. You have to understand that there's so many changes happening right now that, I mean,
It's
Kevin's
crazy.
getting swamped with updates. But I will say this. These are going to be, and they are the most accurate rankings out there. We include things other people don't. Freshmen, we include bonus points.
Yeah, give it things are all over the place right now, but as soon as we update the current ones we did, I'm telling you right now, I will put them up against anybody else's. Flow, Internet, anyone. We have all the updates on there.
We will have a versus other podcast episode rankings on our own.
Yeah.
But, awesome.
And the lineups are going to be, I'm telling you right now, we put a lot of work into it. The lineups are going to be more accurate than anyone's, because I've noticed that Flow has a lot of the updates done, and Intermat, but they're both missing a little bit here and there. And another thing is the team points are going to be done by tomorrow. So we're going to have the NCAA team points based on our rankings, and ours is going to include bonus, and our rankings include the freshmen, the true freshmen. We're the only ones that do that with the freshmen. We're the only ones that include bonus points in our team points. And I can tell you right now that, just to kind of give you a teaser, Penn State is right around that 170 mark right now, based off our rankings. To kind of give you a tease on that.
Record year.
Very well could, and
should I? I mean, I'm in the middle of a long-term edit as the greatest team of all time, Penn State. A long-term last year recap. Are you telling me I should maybe hold off on that because I'll have to redo it in a year?
I don't think that this team is going to score as many points as this team last year, because a lot of the things with this team this year is a lot of people are doing best case scenarios, it seems like, and you just don't know what's going to happen, and we don't even know who's going to be their 57 pounder. I'm almost positive that Barr's their 97, but we're the only one that's listing Facundo. We're the only one. Now,
the only one.
We could look really smart or we could look really stupid, whatever, but I know that, like,
putting our necks out on the line is what we do. But we do that when we.
It's our gut, And Willie was saying the only reason he put K-Zach there is I was ready to put Facundo, but K-Zach is wrestling in the All-Star match. And it's funny because he said after that, he goes, it just seems like a team that never really shows their hand is finally showing their hand. Well, I'll come back and say, maybe not. They're so tricky sometimes.
Why would they finally show their hand? They're not showing their hand, dude.
Yeah, this is the only match that K-Zach's going to be wrestling in, because the rule is you have to be a true freshman to wrestle these 5 matches, right? Which K-Zach is not a true freshman. So this could be an opportunity for him to wrestle a match. And so maybe Cal just said, wrestle the match. All I know is if K-Zach has a red shirt to burn and Facundo does not. And Facundo's certified at 57. So if Facundo is not wrestling, that means he burns a year of eligibility, which means that they're at the very least going to have a wrestle-off or both enter an early season tournament, like K-Zach and Bartlett did.
Kevin, rule of corporate America, KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. That makes the most sense. More times than not, the most simple answer is the right answer. Facundo loses a shirt if he doesn't do it. K-Zach doesn't, right?
And I know
there's your answer, folks.
K-Zach is really good, and I'm probably going to get a lot of backlash for this, but K-Zach is awesome. He took 3rd in the NCAAs, right? He filling in for Van Ness. But people seem to just completely forget about his regular season, which was pretty good, but he had some losses, and the fact that he lost to the first round of NCAAs. That match still happened. He went on a run after that, but there's no reason to think that Facundo can't beat him in a wrestle-off. There's no reason to think that, and people are not giving Facundo any chance at all in that wrestle-off, and I don't get it.
Well, and Kevin, I don't know, maybe to me, maybe not the audience. You cut out for a half second there. K-Zach did lose first round of NCAAs last year.
Yeah,
which we
a novice. Sometimes I feel like he's spoken of like he won NCAAs. He won 7 matches, and
what he did was very admirable coming back. Okay.
It's
after
amazing.
that, but
Don't get me wrong. I'm not poo-pooing on Kazak, man. But Facundo, it's the opposite with him. People go, okay, he had a horrible year when he wrestled 2 years ago at 165. That's not true. He beat Cam Amin. He had some really good wins. The problem is he got upset first round, and then he had to wrestle Julian Ramirez in the first round of the Consti's because Julian Ramirez got upset. It was a really strange thing. But since then, Facundo has trained with Kyle Dake all year long. He went to Paris with Kyle Dake. That's who Kyle Dake chose to take to Paris with him to train. We saw him in the Olympic trials against Haynes. Yeah, man, you got to just, I don't know. I think
Enough said, I'll take Facundo. Kyle Dake took him as his training partner. Are you serious? Yeah, I'll take Facundo.
Yeah, and wouldn't you say, Zach, though, that they're at least, they're not just going to say Facundo certified 57. Guess what? We're just going to start Kazak. We know that you're going to burn a year eligibility and he has a red shirt. No, they're going to have a wrestle-off or enter a tournament. That's why I don't think it's decided yet.
No. Well, I think it probably is decided, but it's not anything that we have been able to see on the surface as a media organization, which we are, right, Kevin?
Right.
I mean.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
That we are.
Right, folks. Come on, dude.
That we are.
We're breaking news over here, dude. We got insiders. It's unbelievable. We're live streaming tomorrow. Kevin, we're running long,
That's
dude.
Gonna be awesome.
In an episode I never imagined would run long. We're running a little long, dude. Wrap us up, then I can wrap us up.
Yeah. We'll talk a little bit about Worlds next week, senior level Worlds, but definitely by Sunday, go to the website and look at the lineups and look at the rankings we have, and you're going to go through and go, what? He's going here, he's going there. We're also going to do a separate tab where it shows all the red shirts. That way you don't think we just forgot Daniel Cardenas at 157. He's going to be on this red shirt tab.
We're going to add that for clarification purposes, yes, because we're getting a lot of questions on these rankings.
Yeah, so this will be your most accurate one.
Time to be explaining to every single person with every single question, because we got insiders sending us messages, dude. We got work to do. We're working on updating these, dude. So, Kevin, yeah, I mean, the work you're doing, man, on these rankings is incredible. So, they are accurate, folks.
Appreciate it. We're looking forward to it, and the season's right around the corner.
Okay, Kevin, that's it. That's it for Kevin today. Kevin, incredible work, man. Folks, if you're like, dude, I can't get enough of BEG Rest. We're back tomorrow at 2 o'clock Eastern Time, live. I'm going to be with Dom Zaccone at Campbell Wrestle-Offs, literally determining who starts for this team tomorrow, live. BEG Wrestling's first ever live stream of a wrestling match. And, I love Flo, but I am committed to not getting a single comment that says, in any regards, that you guys are Flo. I don't want the stream cutting. I don't want audio cutting. Kevin, we're going to have a private meeting after this because, dude, you got microphones and stuff, and all of a sudden, dude, we got to get you up to speed over
I got my son throwing up on me. I got my shelf falling on me, my microphone. I'm sick as it is because
you find it like any type of omen that the shelf directly behind you with 3, not 1, not 2, 3 David Taylor bobbleheads just fell. No one touched it, folks. No one touched it. It fell right before the show. I watched it. Literally, I was watching
the
it
other
live.
one
About
is
to go
right.
live.
Yeah. These guys just won.
David
they went
Taylor,
down, man.
All your David Taylors.
Maybe you shouldn't be stealing Vega.
Wow, unreal. With David Taylor, I hope he doesn't have one of those. What are those boards? Ouija boards.
Yeah, a voodoo doll.
A voodoo board.
I take this and I'm just poking it. I'm like,
Oh, don't do it, Kevin. Don't do it. Listen,
Thanks,
I got to conserve my energy from literally this moment forward because I am live streaming. I got to drive 6 hours. I got to leave here at 6 o'clock in the morning. going down to Campbell, North Carolina, folks. Campbell University. We're live streaming. We are going to save Campbell Wrestling. I don't care if it's the last thing I freaking do. We are saving Campbell Wrestling, and I'm going to make these people answer real questions, folks. Real questions. I will ask them over and over and over again if I have to. I don't care. This is going to be like a political interview. I've been watching all these political interviews, Kevin. I'm getting inspired. People challenging people. And I thought, I can challenge people.
Don't let them talk about their lawns, okay?
I will not, Kevin. Thank you everyone for watching. We're not talking about lawns, and we're not talking about any kind of class you came up in. We're talking about the future of Campbell Wrestling. But tonight, this is BEG Wrestling. Go to the website, begwrestling.com, and like and subscribe. Kevin, thank you very much. Until Tuesday, when Wayne is back, folks. Wayne's back Tuesday.
Wayne!
This show is about to explode.
You're going to not want to miss Wayne, man. He is fired up.
Don't miss it, folks. We're back.